Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to continue our discussion on machine learning. So make sure that your files are, your RMD file is already, that has the necessary objects already. The packages are loaded. Then we define the start date and end date. We just use 2024. No? Could have used 2025, but it's okay. And then we loaded the US dollar Philippine peso exchange rate using get symbols. Then same thing for the VIX volatility index, and same thing for the Brent oil prices. Okay, now it's incumbent upon you, class, to of course do some readings or do some little research on what VIX is. What does it measure? Okay, it's a metric for volatility. In other words, what's being measured here is the deviations from the average uh, returns. Okay, and then we also have the Brent prices, very relevant today because of the uh, war in Iran now, when the price of oil once again jacked up. Okay, dati naging 60 plus na lang. Ngayon, nasa hundreds na naman. No? So the traders, oil investors, the oil traders, those trading in stock market, they're making a heyday, no? Kasi yung iba nag-position sila na when there was a memorandum of understanding between US and Iran, nag-position sila na bababa yung price ng oil. And true enough, no? From highs of 120 plus, naging 60 plus. So dun sa wave na yon, nag-earn sila ang lalaki. I have friends who were able to ride that wave. And then ngayon na naman, parang so double triple whammy sila ng ano ng profit, no? Dun sa ano naman sa uptick naman ng price from 60 and then going up 70s, 80s, 90s and then hundreds na naman. So very interesting times, no? Very easy to earn money at this point in time kung talagang sinusubaybayan lang. Very easy to ride the wave of fluctuations in prices. And there is where the VIX comes into play in volatility index. No? All right. Then we learned how to deal with missing values and A values. And we said there are several ways. And one of the ways is the last object carried forward. Now we said this will work, class, in some instances, no? Hindi ito lang, it's not the one parang one sickness fits all. No? One medicine or one tablet or one bullet fixes all. Hindi ganon. So you have to study the type of data. And notice we're doing it while we are still in the prices. No? Nasa price pa tayo ng VIX, hindi sa returns. Normally, when we do this last observation carried forward, dapat sa returns pa lang ginagawa na natin. Okay? And that's part of, we doubled into SQL. Ito yung sa kanina class yung sa pinakita ko. Yun ang ano ka talaga nung sa FinStud, when I handle FinStud, yun ang dinidiscuss namin, no? Structured query language. I'm not sure if, wala na yata yung FinStud sa ano nyo eh, sa course nyo eh. Okay, but it's still being offered because dati nasa ano yan, nasa flowchart nyo. But it was removed. Tapos maintain pa rin nila kasi, ng department kasi, offered siya as a minor. So when I handle it, ito yung ginagawa ko, no? So actually, full breadth to eh, from data cleaning, and then data visualization, and then papasok sa returns, tapos sa volatility, hanggang sa portfolio optimization class. Kasama. So full breadth to itong FinStud na subject na to. No? So in fact, para mas mahaba, mas malawak pa yung scope niya kaysa FinLits. Okay. So we make sure that you have this object merge union and merge prices. Okay. I'll just run it just to be sure. Plus. Okay. And then this one, we did some SQL. No, let's not run this anymore. Basta importante ito class, no? Ito. Ito. Okay. Ito merge union tsaka merge prices. So si merge union class, this is what we call a full join where all the dates, kasi di ba ang common sa USD PHP, sa VIX at saka sa Brent, ang common sila sa dates. So if you're going to join them, it will be based on the common column, yung dates. Kung dalawa o two or three columns ang common, then you'll have to specify ano yung basis ng join. Okay, and since these are XTS objects class, so ang common nila yung date. So, hindi na natin dinidefine kung paano sila i-merge. Kasi obviously, kung ano yung common sa kanila yung dates, doon ang basis. All is equal to true class means lahat ng dates na nasa USD PHP, lahat ng dates na nasa VIX, lahat ng dates na nasa Brent, isasama dito sa merge union. Okay? So magkakaroon yan ng mga missing values kasi may mga dates na meron sa USD PHP na wala si VIX, wala si Brent, etc. So that's why we had to omit it, no? We omitted dun sa merge union, and this will result into an object where ang laman lang niya yung common sa lahat. And we learned last time na 2214 observations yan. All right. And then after that, after generating this object called merged prices, okay, we now get the returns. Nung na-clean na natin data, wala na mga missing values, saka natin kinuha yung return. So notice how we first clean the data, no? Tapos we use daily return, and we know that yung daily return class, hindi siya ng NA. Hindi siya magge-generate ng NA. Yung first row will be just 000. And we got that log prices. So I'll not run this anymore kasi na-run ko na to, no? And then, what happens here class sa target? We're creating this object called target. Ito ngayon magiging target variable. Target variable means that will be your dependent variable. So how are we doing it, class? Yung USD PHP, ang ginawa natin, yung value ngayon, ilalagay ko sa kahapon. No? I'm going to put it to yesterday. Why? Kasi ngayon, yung target variable mo, si USD PHP return, which is now, so ilalagay ko siya dun sa date kahapon. Ang gagamitin natin predictors class are the values yesterday. So ang concept ng class, we are not going to model or predict USD PHP return using the values of today. Okay, let me just quickly clarify that, although alam ko na-clarify ko na to, no? So meron tayong return, USD PHP return today, no? Tapos meron tayong mga independent variable 1, say IB1, IB2, IB3, whatever, no? Kung ilan man yan, IB10, 10 independent variables, for example. Tapos may mga values din sila today. So what are we doing now? We are now predicting returns today with the values of today. Okay? So parang ano siya, may quote unquote, may konting cheating, no? Para may look forward tayo. Bakit look forward? Kasi ginamit ko yung values ngayon para i-predict yung value ngayon. Okay? So mas maganda class, itong return na to, yung value na to, ilalagay ko sa yesterday. Okay? So that, ang ginagamit ko ngayon, yung mga values yesterday in order to predict today. So wala na tayong look ahead bias. Okay? All right. So I hope that's clear, class. So that's what's happened. That's what happened here in this code. I don't mind repeating class the concept kasi very important sa atin yung yung concept na yun, no? Yung ginawa natin na minove back natin yung returns, which is our target, to yesterday, so that it is in line with the values yesterday. So wala tayong quote-unquote cheating. Hindi natin ginagamit yung values ngayon para i-predict yung value ngayon. So ang ginagawa natin ngayon, i-predict natin yung value bukas using the values yesterday. Okay? So ganun yung pinaka-concept niya. Alright. So we created this, yung final XTS object na to. Minerge ulit natin, class, no? Minerge ulit natin yung return. Okay? pinalitan natin yung yung names ng columns. Okay. So let me just run this. Wala ring missing values, tapos 2213 observations. All right. And then si final XTS class, which is an XTS object. Why is this an XTS object? Kasi si USD PHP ret XTS, si VIX ret XTS, si Brent ret XTS. Okay? Therefore, pag i-merge natin siya, tapos tatanggalin natin yung any missing value, XTS object din yan. So, walang missing value, 2213 observations. Now, there's a purpose of, later on class, gagamitin natin isang table. So, convert lang natin class si let's create this final table. Okay, data frame siya, where we extracted where we're creating a column called date. Saan magagaling yung date? Dun sa index ni final XTS. And then, also, yung core data ni final XTS. Okay? Huwag natin lalagyan ng row names. And then, we convert the data frame as a table. Okay? So, when we run this class, alright? So, ito yung object natin. Notice now, si date hindi na index siya. Data frame na to table na to. No? Okay? 2213 observations pa rin. Andun pa rin yung 00 returns natin sa una. Tapos, andito si target. No? Andito pa rin si target. Okay? Pause muna ako, class. I hope you don't mind repeating because I want us really to understand what we're doing here. Pangit kasi kung nagmamadali tayo tapos itong machine learning class, malamang niya, no? Chances are there's a big probability that you will use this in your thesis. So napakalaking responsibility nyo rin, and mine and yours also, to really understand yung machine learning na to, tools na to. Okay, sabi ni Josiah, it's a finance elective now. Finance elective, pero hindi, parang, may mga finance pala na kumuha. May mga finance ngayon. So, I had to beef it up, class, kasi combination siya ng mga imagine, si Josiah is, by the way, enrolled in that subject, no? Combination siya ng mga computer science students. May biology pa nga So, since the department is offering yung minor na finance, isa yun sa So, kaya nga ang challenge sa akin yung how to let's say coalesce, no? Yung computer science students at saka yung finance students kasi coming from different backgrounds. Anyway, sorry for asking that, no? Okay. So, pumunta na tayo, class, sa feature engineering. What are features? Features are independent variables. These are predictors that are used in, especially in machine learning models. These are independent variables. So, that's why it's called engineering, kasi tayo nag-create from the data itself. So we started already doing this last time. We are using TTR, QuantMode, and Zoo package. No? So actually, na-load na natin to. So we also define the parameters we're using: logmax 3, SMA short, long, RSI, volatility window, MACD, fast, slow MACD signal. Lahat to define, class. No? Bollinger Bands period 20, ADX period 14. These are the usual parameters. Now, in the interest of time, class, I hope you'll take some time to study then saan ba ginagamit yung RSI. Yung SMA na discuss natin, pero yung RSI, class, rolling SD, madidiscuss natin yung MACD. Okay? Please take some time to at least review or at least research on saan ba ginagamit to sa technical analysis, class. Si MACD, si Bollinger, si ADX. Meron pang iba, marami pa yan, class. If you check the TTR package, check nga natin. At saka si QuantMode, no? Okay, check natin, class. TTR. Yan. Hindi ko pa pala na-load to. I-load ko muna. Yan. TTR package. Ba't hindi nag-check? Weird. Library, check ko to. Sabi? Hindi Why? Library na yan Okay, anyway, i-check nyo na lang. Make sure it's checked. Quant mode na check na naman yan kasi kanina sa taas, no? I'm surprised why wait, sandali lang class Bakit hindi naka-check yung mga packages ko? Asa na ba yung ito? Ayan, okay na. Kasi hindi ko yata na rin yung una, no? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so na-load ko na yung mga packages. Okay. So we're here now. We're now doing feature engineering. Features engineering class means we're creating variables that we're going to use to model, to predict the target variable, okay? The target variable using other variables, mostly which are created. Okay, so make sure you run this class. Okay, so the first one that we did was, ano nga ba to? I merge prices to, no? Okay na yan. We create this object called, run ko lang baka magka-problema ako. Merge prices. Check lang naman niya kung nag-i-exist, no? Okay. All right. We're creating this object, data fix. This is final table. Di ba itong final table class, it's a table, it's a data frame. So we're going to, in order to preserve this class, mag-create na lang tayo itong object na to, data for fits. For features, data for features, we're going to populate this with the features class. Okay, load natin. No? All right. We already did this class. Kinuha natin class yung lag1. Lag1, lag2, lag3. Lagmax is defined sa taas, lag3 yon. Ibig sabihin class, kukunin natin yung mga previous returns ni USD PHP ret. What's the objective? Ang objective class, yung returns ngayon, pwede nating magamit yung returns yesterday para ma-predict yung returns ngayon. So it's sort of an autoregressive model, an AR model class, no? AR model. So gagamitin natin yung in order to predict the returns today, gagamitin natin yung returns kahapon, no? Lag 1 yon. Returns 2 days ago, lag 2. Return 3 days ago, lag 3 yon. So that's what this will do class, no? For k in 1 up to lagmax is 3, ano mangyayari? Mag-create ng lag column, which is the lag, yung data forfeits ng USD PHP k ret ng k, no? K is from 1 up to 3. So magkakaroon ng lag 1, lag 2, lag 3. Tapos yung column name, ipe-paste yung USD ret lag and then up to k. So USD ret lag 1, lag 2, lag 3. And then yung data forfeits class, lalagyan ng, ipapasok yung column name nitong lag call na to. Okay? So in other words, si data forfeits, lalagyan ng lag 1, lag 2, lag 3 nitong USD PHP ret. So let's run this class. Okay, I'll first run this. Okay, data forfeits, the final table. And then I'm going to run this now. This one. Check ko lang. Data forfeits, 5 variables, no? Okay, yan. Ano laman niya? Yung date, yung USD PHP ret, yung VIX, Brent, at saka yung target. And then take note class, si target class, ito tingnan nyo, di ba? Ito, 2.37, okay? Di ba? 2.37. Yung value na to, pinunta natin yesterday, no? Kasi itong pinipredict natin class sa 1.0355. Ipipredict natin si 5.51, no? Ito, using the values yesterday. Okay, itong negative 1.33 class actually value today na sinama natin sa yesterday. Kasi if you remember class, this is 12:30, no? 12:30 data to. Nilagay natin sa 12:27. Okay? So I hope I'm making sense class. Okay. Close ko na muna to. Balikan ko yung, ayan, okay. All right, then we discuss also simple moving average. Napakasimple ng simple moving average class. Ngari, SMA5, You just get the averages of the first 5 values, and it's a simple moving average, which means equally weighted sila. So all the values ng price returns ang number 1 up to number 5, divide by 5 lang sila lahat, no? Add everything, then divide by 5 to get the average. Tapos SMA 10 din. Ang ginamit natin dito, ang short natin 5, ang long 10. Okay, and we said that this is used in order to establish yung trend. And the longer the length is, the length of your SMA is, the more smooth it is. So kung i-compare natin yung SMA 90 at saka SMA 180, you will know that SMA 180 is smoother class. Kaya mas makikita mo yung trend talaga niya. Mas mawawala yung mga yung mga spikes and mga yung ups and downs, no? All right, so we did this class. Okay. So nag-SMA muna tayo class. N is equal to SMA short 5 days yun, and then long. And then sabi natin, this is another way class, yung rolling mean. Mamaya class, titingnan natin naman yung rolling volatility. So yung rolling mean class, again, same thing lang siya. Kukunin yung first 5 days, depende sa K, no? First 10 days, etc. I will not run that anymore. Ngayon, ipapasok ko na dito kay data for fits, ipapasok ko, mag-insert ako ng panibagong column, SMA short, and then what do I do? I'm going to get the core data nino, SMA short XTS. Kasi take note class, XTS class, SMA short XTS, this is an XTS object. Kasi ang ginagamit natin class yung merge prices. XTS to eh. So XTS yan. So, gagawin natin, kukunin natin yung core data ni SMA short XTS. Tapos, anong dates ang kukunin? Ima-match natin yung index ni final XTS at saka yung index ni SMA short XTS. Dapat magkapareho siya class. Okay? Alright, run natin to. Pati yung kay long class. Run. And then let's check class. Let's check si data for fits. Tingnan nyo, naging 7 variables na. Nadagdagan na ng 2 features. Print ko ulit. Class print. Okay. So tingnan nyo, no? May SMA 5 na. Short at saka long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ito. Okay. So how did you get this? Yung prices ang kinukuha natin dito class, hindi yung returns, no? So we're going to use this class as a predictor. Yung SMA long at saka SMA short. Okay? So, again, going back class, I'm going to close this kasi para bumalik agad ako dito. Alright, RSI class, we also did this last time. Relative Strength Index. I'll leave you class to explore what RSI will give. So it will also give, depende siya, index sa class, as mentioned last time, 70-30 yung tinitingnan. Okay? Pag 70 class, pag lumampas ng 70, ano ibig sabihin nun? Maraming bumibili ng asset na yun. Okay? So ang malamang niyan class, kasi oversold na siya, overbought siya. I mean, from the perspective of the buyer, ang daming bumibili. If you take a look from the perspective of the seller, oversold siya. No? Overbought class, maraming bumibili. So, there's a potential for it to reverse down. Okay? On the other hand naman, pag less than 30, oversold siya. So, potential for reversal up. Pag approximately 50, neutral siya. Okay? So, may use to, class. May purpose siya. So, we discussed this already last time. I-run na natin to. And then, notice, class, that nadadagdagan na naman si data for fits natin ni RSI. Okay? So, kung i-check natin si data for fits, 8 variables na siya, no? Kasi dinagdagan na ng RSI. Alright, then MACD also we did last time. Ang purpose itong momentum and trade. Okay, usually yung ginagamit yan yung 12-day and 26-day, tapos yung signal line na 9 days. Now, sinulat na natin sa taas siyang class, so we can now run this, and fast, and slow, and signal. No? Okay, and then, what did we do, class? Ang ginawa natin, class, nag-create tayo ng MACD XTS, tapos dito, ipapasok natin siya sa data for fits. Okay, run natin. Okay. Again, class, please take responsibility to at least learn ano ba yung mga MAC, ano ba yung what is moving average convergence, divergences. Ano ba yung ano dyan, class? Moving average to di ba? That name already suggests something. So gumagamit siya ng moving average. Only that, here we have the choice kung anong moving average ang ginagamit. Usually it's exponential moving average. Ang exponential average class, iba siya sa SMA. Kasi sa SMA class, simple average lang. So equally weighted. Si EMA hindi. Mas binibigyan niya ng bigger weight yung mga most recent values. Okay, so kunyari, kinukuha natin average from January 1 up to January 30. Pag SMA, 30 days yun, 1/30 lang yung weight ng bawat isa. Pag EMA class, mas malaki yung weights ng January 30, January 29, January 28 as compared to January 1. Okay, so let's run this. Let's make sure that you have your MACD list. So magge-generate yan ito, Okay, ito dinefine natin sa taas. Fast, slow, and signal. Na yung ginamit natin. And then ipasok natin to, plus. Anong lalabas ito? MACD line at saka MACD signal. Okay, so madadagdagan na naman ng, I'm not sure why I'm getting an error, pero gumagana naman, Naging 10 variables na siya. Yung data forfeits ko. Kanina 8, naging 10. Alright, so let's now go here. Bollinger Bands class. Okay, volatility measure to. So si Bollinger Bands with to, Ang ginagawa niyang class, meron tayong upper at saka lower. Ang difference siya, kukunin yung 20-day simple moving average. Tapos, after you get, di ba, madali lang naman as 20-day SMA. You just get the average of the prices, kunyari, from data 1 up to data 20. So meron kang 20-day SMA yun. Of course, gagalaw yan, And from day 2 up to day 21. You know the drill class. Tapos, kukunin mo yung standard deviations, Kunin mo yung standard deviations dun sa day 1 up to 20. Okay? And then multiply that by 2. That's 2 standard deviations. And then you add that to your 20-day SMA. And then also, you subtract that from your 20-day SMA. So magkakaroon tayo ng upper at saka lower. Yung upper class is a 20-day SMA plus 2 standard deviations of the prices. And then yung lower naman, yung minus. So band siya. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya, bands. Okay? And it expresses a percentage of the current price. Okay? Pag yung with class is the difference. Pag high with indicates high volatility. Okay? Very obvious naman, Malaki yung standard deviation, malaki yung difference ng plus 2 at saka minus 2 na dun sa 20-day SMA. Right? So the formula itself lends to that conclusion that nga naman pag 20-day SMA plus 2 standard deviations at saka minus 2 standard deviations. Pag malaking standard deviation, and then of course lalaki yung width, Width is the difference between your upper and then the higher. So pag higher width, high width daw, anong sinasabi nun? High volatility. Nag-e-expand yung bands. Pag low width, low volatility. Okay, so very let's say practical yung interpretation. So ano mini-measure niya? Volatility regimes. Yung unang example ko kasi ito foreign currency. FX kasi USD PHP, Okay? Pag low width class, squeezes yun. So, ang sinasabi nila, usually, pag low width class, it will precede breakouts. Okay, pag low width class, ibig sabihin, magkaka-breakout yan. So, in machine learning, this is useful for predicting volatility clustering or regime shifts. Yung regime shifts class, yung magbabago kung dati pataas, biglang bababa. Yun ang regime shifts class, which can signal upcoming trends. All right, so let's run this. I think we did this last time. Okay, so ang function B bands, Okay, so ito define natin yung BB period and standard deviation is equal to 2. Kasi pwedeng 3. Pwede rin 3 yung standard deviation. Okay, so let's move on. Bilis ng oras. Okay, so ipapasok ulit natin to class, dito. So kanina, 10 na yung features natin. Ngayon, 10 na yung data for feeds natin. Ngayon, 11 na. So you can see now, we are adding to the object data for fits. Okay, once again, I'll view this just to check. Ito na yung mga laman, no? Ito na yung mga laman class ng natin, ng data for fits. And then in date, andyan yung USD PHP rate, VIX rate, Brent rate, target natin. Ito yung decision, ano natin, dependent variable. And then ito na yung SMA short, SMA long. Oh, asa na yung lag? Balik class ng konti, sorry ah. Hindi ko nalagay yung lag ah. Yung lag 1, lag 2, di ba? Did I run that? Wait, dali lang ha. Just to make sure. Ito yun, dito yun, sa simula, no? Asan yung lag natin? Where's that? Ay, toto, no? Hindi pumasok to. Nakalimutan ko i-run. Run ko class. Alright. Tatlong logs to, no? So, kanina yung data for fits natin, 11. Asan na yung data for fits ko ngayon? Data for fits, yung 14 na, no? Data for fits. Okay, sorry about that. Nakalimutan ko i-run, no? Okay. So, pag ganyan class ko, question ninyo ako, ha? Ayan, class, ito yung log 1, log 2, and log 3. Okay. So, let's now go back. Okay, nahuli. Alright. Dito na tayo, class. Makapagsimula mo lang tayo, class, sa regression. Okay. Meron pa tayong idadagdag. Okay. Okay, ito. Tapos na tayo sa Bollinger Bands. ADX, hindi pa tayo tapos, no? Okay. Nadagdag na ba natin itong Bollinger Bands? BB width, no? Laro na tayo. Okay. Alright, next, average directional index, no? So ito naman class ginagamit for yung strength ng trend. Trend strength indicator siya, just like yung RSI class, no? Ano siya? Index siya. Trend strength, 0 to 100 scale, it measures the strength of a trend regardless of direction, whether it's going up or going down. Basta may trend, no? Pag ADX is greater than 25, it's indicative of a strong trend. Okay? Pag less than 20 naman, it suggests a ranging market. Okay, so ang purpose nito ng ADX class, again, average directional. As the name suggests, directional. Kung saan papunta. Okay, why chosen? FX markets alternate between trending and ranging. Okay, trending yung pataas, trending yung pababa. ADX helps the model adapt. All right. So, let's do this, class. Again, the function is ADX. So, gagamitin natin yan for the prices ni USD PHP. N is equal to ADX period. Okay, this was defined above. Tapos ipapasok natin siya kay data for fits. Same thing, class. Same thing lang. So, run natin. Oops, ano nangyari? Wait, ha? May error ako, class. Okay, how about you, class? May error kayo? Kaya nag-error ako. Kanina na-run ko na to eh. I'll have to check this, no? Okay. Unfortunately, HLC2. Mahirapan akong hindi kagad-kagad na kung ma-decipher to, no? Okay, may I ask for your feedback, class, kung in your case nag-run ba si ADX XCS? Confirm please, yes or no? Nakuha to. So dito pa lang kay ADX. Ayaw na. Unbounded daw siya. How about in your case, class? So yun sa mga values ko. Meron naman, 14. Expresses. Waiting for your comments, class. Nag-run ba sa inyo? Hello, class. Hello. Is somebody there, class? Nag-run ba to sa inyo, itong ADX? Okay, yung ano natin, itong average directional index, class? Class, please. Comment. Okay, I have to move on, class, kasi I'm not getting any response from you. Okay, I don't know what happened. Ito, class, yung rolling volatility. Parang roll mean to, no? Yung rolling volatility, instead of computing for the average, ang inaan natin, ang kinukuha natin, class, dito yung function. We define the function to be standard deviation here. Okay? Ang width niya, yung volatility window. Dinefine natin yung volatility window. Ilang days siya. Ang volatility window natin 10, no? Naka-define sa taas. Standard deviation. Okay? Align to the right. Ano ibig sabihin, class, ng align to the right? Kasi kung 10 standard deviations, ibig sabihin ng class, ang una magkakaroon ng value niyan yung day 10. Fill is equal to NA, class. Ibig sabihin, walang values yung days 1 to 9. Parang yung roll mean natin kanina, class, no? Ang magkakaroon ng lang value yung day 10. Yung days 1 to 9, kasi pwede natin i-fill yan di ba? Pwedeng pareho lang dun sa day 10. Pero NA, no? And NA that remove is equal to true. Tanggalin kung may mga values from 1 to 9. Okay? So let's run this, class. Ang kinocompute naman ito yung volatility. Volatility ng returns. And then it will create this object vol XTS. Okay, run. Tapos, ipasok natin kay volatility. Alright, so now si data forfeits, ilan na? Data forfeits, 15 na, no? If you check this, class, ang huling-huli niya yung okay, here, class, yung volatility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you go, class, to the merge prices, kunin mo yung volatility ng first 10 observations. Ito yun. Okay? O, sige, sample natin. SD, class. SD ng merged prices, di ba? Merged prices. Ayan. Okay, dollar. Kunin natin USD PHP. Ito yung prices ng tapos, and then just get 1 up to 10. Okay. Mali, kasi prices ang ginamit natin. Dapat yung sorry, class. Hindi yung merge prices dapat. Yung data forfeits. Data forfeits. No? Dollar. Yung returns, sorry. Dollar. USD PHP rate. Yung returns, class. Yung volatility na returns. I stand corrected. Not the prices. Tapos yung first 10 lang. Okay, control enter. 0.00299. Yan, class. First 10, yung standard deviation niya. And if you want to check, class, yung observation 2 up to 11, okay, 10 observations din yan. right? 0.003009. There you go. Okay, so that's how you compute. We learned rolling mean, rolling volatility. No? Okay, so I hope you're following, class. Okay, so ngayon, class, dyan na, no? Except for the ADX. Ako wala akong ADX. Hindi naman kayo nagsabi sa akin kung gumana yung ADX nyo. Okay, so here, okay, that's why, so key features class, anong isasama natin? Yung RETLAG 1, RETLAG 2, RETLAG 3, SMA short, SMA long, RSI, MACD line, MACD signal, BB width. Yung XDS class hindi gumana kaya kinoment out ko na muna siya. Volatility, VIX current, Brent current, and then yung target. So I'm creating this object called key features. Okay, it's a vector class. Okay, tapos yung key features and class, sa subset ko yung data for fits, yun lang kukunin ko. Okay, so let's run this class. Tapos ilan yung almost time. Nag-error na naman ako Data for fits. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to check. Bakit kaya gumagana naman to. I'll just check this key features muna. Yan. So key features is okay. Final features. Lahat ng rows, then only. Ba't hindi gumana? 1, 2, 3. Error in data for fits. Key features. Wait 13. Okay. Anyway, sige. Ko-correct na lang to natin next meeting class. And then, critical to dito The next meeting class, mag-split na tayo. Now, take note, and I'll end in here, class. Kinompute dito yung Enron final features. Okay, and then, number of, tingnan nyo, class, kung paano ini-split yung data. Okay, ilan yung N-train, ilan yung rows. So we're going to create the training and testing data. Tapos I'll explain this next meeting. Notice class sa time series hindi pa pwedeng random. Kailangan from the first observation up to the last. Okay, ito 'yon. Tapos yung test data natin from the last observation na train plus 1 up to the number of rows. So that's how we do it. Kailangan may order class from the first up to the split and then split plus 1 up to the last. Hindi pwede yung natin na ginawa natin na sub na randomize yung yung pagkuha ng data. All right. So with that class, let's now. So you can now see that split na tayo, and then you can see that here we should be able to maintain the temporary order of your time series. So N-train, 1 up to N-train, okay? Yung train natin, yung N-train natin, yung 80%, no? ng number of floors, yung N-rows class. Kunyari 100 observations, 80% nun. That will be for your train. So yung train natin class will be from observation number 1 up to 80. And then yung test data set natin, N-train natin is 80 plus 1. So this is from 81 up to 100. So you can see that very important that the temporal order, the logical order of your time series data is preserved. Hindi pa pwedeng, katulad ng ginawa natin last time na sample lang, di ba? Random randomly getting numbers from your, let's say, yung analogy natin yung bowl, no? Okay? All right. So we'll continue this next meeting and then pupunta na tayo class sa pupunta na tayo sa Ang gagawin natin next meeting class, mag-create tayo ng train at saka test. Okay, matrix ang gagamitin natin class. Okay, matrix. And then pupunta na tayo sa linear regression natin. Linear regression, we're going to use yung LM muna, yung LM function ito class, yung regular regression, and then we're going to use decision tree, and then random forest, and then we'll do SVM, support vector machines, XGBoost. So your assignment class is to please read on the different ML tools, especially for regression. Para mas maganda yung discussion natin class. Support vector machines, XGBoost, ANN, artificial neural networks, etc. All right. So thank you so much. I'll stop recording now.